And scientists are sounding the alarm over the concentration of carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. They say that it has reached levels not seen in 3 million years. We find out what this means and the potential impact on the climate and humanity in tonight's Spotlight. And joining the conversation tonight is climate change activist Betsy Rosenberg. We thank you for joining us. It's great to see you again, Betsy.
Great to be with you.
According to the data from the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii, the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere is over 415 parts per million, highest point in human history. What exactly does this mean, other than perhaps maybe what Bill Nye would say would be that we're screwed?
Right, or that F-bomb, which I won't repeat, but yeah, I'm glad you ran that clip. That was funny. And we need funny. We need everything we can do to get people's attention, because this 415 number of parts per million of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is about double since before the pre-industrial age started. So we are moving fast, and we're moving, much faster than we want to. It's not good. A long way fast is what I'm trying to say. And we are in trouble. Most Americans, if you ask them, try this little eco-pop quiz like I do. Ask them, do you know who Bill McKibben is? And he started this organization, 350.org, to emphasize the fact that 350 parts per million is what climate scientists have considered the safe level. And I think I was on your show just a couple weeks ago talking about how we're up to 410, maybe 412 parts per million. And here we have just hit 415. So it gives you some idea how quickly we are heading towards a climate cliff, how we need to wake up and smell the carbon and get off our gases, and just go around asking people if they know, hey, how many parts per million do you think we're at right now? What do you think the safe level is? I think it's a really important number that quantifies how we are well past the safety zone, and we must wake up.
Now, is it possible that some of this is caused by natural causes and not just by humans? Does that even matter? I mean, we are the bulk of the problem.
Right. If anyone saw An Inconvenient Truth or the sequel, but the first one, Al Gore showed the natural cycles, and then he had to get up in a forklift to show where we were headed then. That was in 2006. Now we're in 2019, so we are off the chart. So yes, whatever natural cycles there were happened, but they're not relevant compared to where we are now. Just consider off the charts. And while this number is important, just know that all ecosystems are in decline. We last time talked about the extinction crisis and biodiversity crisis, and we are all seeing extreme weather, and that is going to affect global health, global food supply, water supply, insects, diseases. Our foundation, life on this planet is under siege by us. We didn't know for many of these decades, but now that we do, the question is, what are we doing about it? And with this administration taking us backwards, gleefully doing so, it's really important that we get people, elected to help us out of this mess, because we've got to go from critical mess to critical mass soon, or we're going to be up to, they say, 500 parts per million by 2050.
Betsy, people like to talk about what Americans have to do about this problem, and surely people look to America to address problems like these, but we are not the worst offender when it comes to global warming and greenhouse gas emissions. That's China, and of course you also have Russia and India towards the top as well. So, I mean, this is something that is going to take a global effort. So what can be done in terms of pooling our most scientific minds, pooling our smartest people, and convincing the world that it's time to do something? And what do we need to do?
Great question. But I just want to say, by the way, it hit 84 degrees Fahrenheit in Russia on Saturday, the same day that we hit 415 parts per million. And China, you're right, on the aggregate, they have a higher global, their total emissions are higher than ours. But per capita, we Americans as individuals have the biggest energy footprint, carbon footprint. So it shows that there's a lot of room for improvement, especially if we still want to consider ourselves a superpower, and more than just a superpower in terms of using and wasting energy. So we need to make this transition swiftly, because we've done a good job of ignoring it, kicking the can down the road the last couple of decades. As Michael Mann, the climate scientist, said, it could have been kind of a gradual bunny slope of getting us off carbon fuels. Of course, that's coal, oil, gas. But because we, are so late in the game, it's going to be more like, a roller coaster. And it's a steep decline that we have to make. It's not going to be easy. It's certainly not going to happen unless we get the country to understand really what's at stake here, how far along we are in this problem. So it's everything from what we drive. I said last time, nobody should be driving a gas guzzler. I live in Texas now. There's a lot of them around here. I know there's a lot across America. By the way, in Texas, we are at 600% above average rainfall for May, and it's only halfway through May. So extreme weather everywhere should be a constant reminder. We talked about buildings have to become a lot more efficient, and we have to, have legislation. We have to have leaders that understand that this is the first and most important thing we can deal with. All these distractions with politics and immigration and Mueller, while the climate window is closing. So we need to stop, realize that 415 should be 911. And pay attention and put the best minds that we have in America, use our American ingenuity and innovation to find ways to get us to make this transition fast.
All right, Betsy Rosenberg, you heard it right there. 415 should be our 911. All right, thanks a lot, Betsy. It's great to see you as always.
Thank you. Great
All
to
right,
be with
and
you.